Hello fellow YouTubers, this is Cindy Flores and today's video is about making food. And what I'm going to show you how to make today are sloppy Joe empanadas, and they taste delicious. My grandmother, God rest her soul, used to sell food out of her house. She was in her 80s and that was one of her last hustles. She did a lot of things throughout her life. She was a nurse. She had quite a few businesses. She had a husband who was in a band back when they were in New York. And towards her later days, what she would do to make a living was sell food. And one of the things that she made that I really liked was empanadas. And I'm going to do a little twist on it. And I'm going to do sloppy Joe American style empanadas. I try to cook as lean as I can, so I use lean ground beef. I do use the original sloppy Joe mix, or you can use man, which is another one that I like. And I'm going to show you how to prepare the meat, prepare the empanada, you know, stuff the shell, prepare the close it, and store it away for later usage. And you can either deep fry it, you can paint like butter or oil on the outside shell and put it in the oven, or you can just straight stick it in the oven without all that heavy grease and stuff. I like the later. I try to cook as healthy and as light as I can. I've lost about I would say about another 20 to 25 pounds since I've done since my last video, and that's really helped with me cooking light, drinking lots of water, eating a lot of fruit, and eating a lot of vegetables. And I'm also living my dream, which is teaching dance fitness class. I'm teaching Zumba class at LA Fitness, so I'm really happy about that. And I've dropped a lot of pounds, and I've gotten stronger, I've gotten fitter, and I've gotten healthier. And so you can cook these light, or you can just deep fry them, and they taste amazing. So let's get started with the video. Okay, so what you'll need is ground beef, and this is 2.5 pounds of lean ground beef. And then you can use manwich or sloppy Joe, either one. This is the original one, and it's super chunky, super thick, with I think tomatoes and peppers in it. So there's that one. And one can of these, one large can of these, makes it's for 2.5. It's for 2 pounds. So this is 2.5. So that's perfect. And then you're also going to need these are Goya empanada, you know, like casings. And these are what you're going to stuff and fold and either fry or put in the oven. For the ground beef, I always try to cook as lean as possible. And again, like I said, this is lean. You can use any kind of ground beef and then drain it. And you'll also need a fork to mash down and close the edge of the empanadas. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I put the lean ground beef in the pot, turned it on, and simply am stirring it until it's cooked. Okay, so now the meat is cooked, and I had just added the sloppy Joe mix, the sauce, and I'm just stirring it around and letting it simmer for a few more minutes before I fill the empanadas. Okay, so now I've let the meat sauce cook. I've actually added some salt because I did taste it and it needed some salt, I felt. And I also added a little bit of sweet and low to give it a sweet and salty kind of taste. And so now I'm going to show you how to fill them. You get your meat and you lay out. I have 3 empanada shells laid out. And so we're going to just spoon in a couple of spoons. I think I'm going to do like 2 big spoons right in the middle of the empanada shell. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold them over in like a moon shape. And then to close them, we're going to get our fork and we're just going to press down on the edges, press them together. Press, press, press so it closes them and seals them. I don't know if you can see that. but I'm pressing with the edge of the fork the edges of the empanadas to close and seal them. So let me show you what this one looks like. And that's what that one looks like. And there's a little bit of sauce that came out, but I can just wipe that away. And what you're going to do after you fill all 3 or all 6 or all 10, however many you're going to do, you can either deep fry them. You can put a little oil over them and just stick that the whole thing in the oven, or you could just stick them in the oven plain. I like to stick them in the oven plain because I try to cook as healthy as I can, and they taste the same and they taste crispier, I think, and it just gives it a nice light crispy taste. So that's how you make those, and I'm going to show you the finished product in just a second. Okay, so I had wiped the excess sauce that was coming out of them. I'd wiped them off, and now I'm putting them in the oven. And another thing that you can do is you can make a bunch of them and then leave them raw like this, and like stack them up, put them in a Tupperware in the fridge, and then whenever you want 1 or 2, just grab them and put them in the oil or put them in the oven. Okay, so this is what the finished product looked like. I forgot to mention before, but I did put them in the oven at 350 degrees. I put them on a sheet of foil paper, and when you do that, you may have to turn them over. You can try it on bake for a little while and then on broil, but you still may have to turn them over for a few minutes. But if not, you can just put them right on the grill in the oven, and they can cook. Each side can cook simultaneously. So that's what they look like, browned, and they taste great. Okay, I see what you did. Okay, so that's how you make them. You saw the finished product. Again, they taste amazing. What I do is I leave them in there for about, I would say, 15 minutes. If you're going to put them on a piece of foil, you may have to flip them over. If not, then you can put them straight on the, the oven rack, and they can get cooked from the bottom and from the top, and they can brown at the same time, and it takes less time like that. But they're amazing. They're one of my favorite dishes, and they're really fun and easy to make, and I hope you really enjoy them. I know you will. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.